Hello, this is Rogue. We're going to be going over the demo of a Steel 6's medic named PotassiumD on Snakewater here. Now, I was able to listen into the cons a little bit, but I haven't really seen much of the gameplay, so we're going to take a look here and see what improvements could be made. Let's get to it. For future rollouts, it's always good to try and buff the roamer before he jumps so he still has the crit heals. Your soldiers are still making it there with a decent amount of health, but you'd like for it to be a little more because here, healing your scout would be way more important. See, your team has a lot of low ground here, so their team was able to come right into you. So try spreading out the heals a little more when you're rolling out. And also, you lagged a little bit on your way, not really much you can do about that, but getting into mid as fast as you can and getting the heals to keep as many people up is really important. Alright, setting up for last here. So, it looks like you guys killed their med at mid, which is great. You may have wanted to go Kritsky here only because of Snakewater, but using Uber is just as good. It's really important though, since their med died so close to you, it's important that you keep building as fast as you can. So here, asking someone, once you get your team buffed and everything, asking someone to build would be great, because if you had been building or even just healing people consistently, you would probably be at about 60–70%, even more. Because look, they're building now, and they have advantage over you when their medics spawn more than 5 seconds after you. Yeah, this positioning is fine. You can hold the close because you think you have advantage, but try not to peek where a sniper could see you. I mean, of course your teammates aren't going to call if they have one, if they don't have one, but you can never be too sure. So try not to peek that choke if you don't have to. Your medic beam will reach a lot farther than you'd think. So hopefully someone's able to call that they have Uber here. But if not, it's not that big of a deal because you guys have now. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate with that arrow. Oh, unless it hit, actually. It looks like he has full health now. Well, this is good that you guys are spamming so much. They shouldn't be letting you guys get so close. You did lose one though, so they're probably going to sack back into you here. So that's your cue to stay as far back as possible. And yeah, your teammates should have known that as well, that they'd be coming in for you now. So it's good though that you're keeping everyone alive and everything. But you guys are just kind of sitting in this one area, still in a big clump. Whenever you have an Uber like that, you definitely want to Uber the people who are taking damage. But you really don't want everyone to keep taking damage. Being clumped up is very bad. Also, somehow you guys didn't force their Uber there. I thought you did when they all came in. But this is great. The Sentry did great work here. And good healing your demo and soldiers. You definitely should be buffing your scouts more. I'm not really seeing them play around you much. But, you know, if you tap them really quick, they'll just be gone. And the soldiers and demo will always stay pretty close. Good job staying back here and not walking ahead of your team. And it's great that you're buffing the flank players as they're leaving. That's very good. Now, again, great job now that you're back here watching all of the spots that people could come out. And you're staying safely away from the spam. That's really good. Now, you guys have full Uber advantage here. So, you're able to, if you solo Uber even, you could take a couple people in if you want. But make sure you're clear and concise that the only people going in are, at the beginning are the people who are getting Ubered. So yeah, good job, you know, flashing the soldier to keep him alive. But it seems like there's some miscommunication. You guys should have absolutely gotten the better of that fight. See how, okay, you took in the soldier and the demo, but then the soldier ended up getting really hurt and the demo couldn't really close the distance. The demo is good to have there, but you should have led the charge in with the soldier. Because the pocket soldier, he can put in the splash damage and also single target elimination with the shotgun. So, and he can rocket jump with a much lower cost than the demo sticky jump. So always try in a situation like that to take the pocket in. Anyway, I'll talk about this now over here. What's going at last? There's not really much you could do about this. It's good for you to have gotten on the point, but actually, that's a tough situation because they would win, but if your teammates were able to call how many they had up, then you probably would have been better off. Now you should really hope that your scouts are able to chase down this medic, because they're going to have a... He didn't heal for a while, never mind, the advantage isn't that big. It's good that your team's able to get the cap. So here you know they have a slight advantage. You are one down, you have the high ground, but it's really tough to stay where you are without enough people, and lobby's not really a great hold on defense anyway. So yeah, this is fine. You just want to make sure that you have your eyes on all the doors if anyone tries to jump you. And it's good getting your buffs out and everything. Having your scout build is super helpful too. Try not to stay right where you have no protection though. I mean, I know there's a sentry gun around, but in general you want to always at least stay by someone who can help if you get jumped or something like that. Yeah, I see you trying to stay out of the damage and milk it. That was a great pop. And they're flashing a lot too. That soldier wasn't really necessary in the Uber, and now he is, but since they were flashing so much, you really wanted to keep your Uber going as long as possible. Now here you guys are winning this fight, so definitely keep as many people alive as possible. Try spreading your heals out a little more than you did just there. This is good. You guys have good numbers advantage and good positioning. I think someone stayed last. And so this is good. You're back behind your teammates. It's kind of unfortunate though that, okay, when your teammates are taking that much damage and choke, you need to stay healing the people who are taking damage. It's really good to buff scouts, especially because that scout was about to cap the point and leave. But as soon as your teammates started taking damage, they are the priority because you don't want them to die or not be able to fight because they're so weak. This is great that you guys are getting mid. You guys are losing your Uber advantage. Oh, anyway, you guys are losing your Uber advantage here, so it's maybe you still think you have one, or maybe they're just gonna let you right in here. Okay, I see. So let's see how this Uber goes before I say anything. Good flash. Okay. First of all, when you go to take an Uber in, you don't want to start with the demo. The demo should be helping with the Uber, but he shouldn't really be taking any of the charge unless it's absolutely necessary. Your soldier had really good position, and he was in a great spot to get in a lot of rockets, and he could even jump in if he wanted. So he needed as much of the Uber as possible, whereas the demo can shoot from far away and still be perfectly safe. Then with that, especially if you're in a place that's taking a lot of damage or is dangerous to you, you want to start backing out at like 30-20%, and then you should have been all the way back and saw on that pack before it even faded, pretty much, because you could still have the people who are staying in, they would still be flashed, but you would be back to safety. Instead there you got juggled by the rocket, and you should have died there, but you were lucky enough to not. So this hold is good. You should probably be a little farther forward just so you can heal your other teammates, because staying down lower on the ramp, you still hold this area, but once you get to the point where you're backing all the way into lobby, you basically give them all of yard and that choke. See? Exactly. They just walked right in. So try holding a little closer. You get your teammates' health higher, and you held better position. This is good flashing. That one scout that was backing up, you know, I guess maybe couldn't really know what they were doing. But being able to, you Ubered your soldier in and then flash a scout that went in to take the fight and called medic. That was really well done. It's great to hear that you're holding the high ground and helping the people who are hurt. But a lot of your teammates sort of left you behind, so it's understandable that you went down here, but you should have definitely tried your best to stay up there and heal the people who are still fighting rather than put yourself in harm's way just to help one person. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't be holding down there for an extended period of time with just a demo because at some point or another, someone's going to find you guys down there. So it's good that you rotated, trying to get out some last damage before you get charged. Good stuff. I don't know if you guys have anyone watching the left side, but especially when you know no one's watching a door, you have to have your eyes on it because it's the biggest threat to you than anyone else if someone tries to bomb you, or even back cap for that matter, but you know, at that point, you're killing two birds with one stone. So here, again, great flashing. Great milking, sorry. The flashing is pretty good here, but the demo, again, didn't really need as much because he was able to stay out of harm's way, whereas the soldier really needed to jump in. There's not really much you could have done about dying there. But overall, that was a very good Uber. Now, when they're all flooding in like that, it's really important to keep moving so that people can't just get you immediately. Because, like, for example, you were staying in the corner, and then the scout came into you, and you couldn't see him, and you were basically dead by the time you could even react. But since you were just staying still, it was very easy for him to kill you. So definitely try to keep moving around. There's something else I meant to say, but maybe it'll come to me later. Again, you should be... See, holding back here, you give them the choke. They can just walk right in. And your flank can't get any buffs in the yard. So... You want to be in a place, if you're holding the second point, then you should be in a place that'll stop them from getting the second point. Here, by the time you start fighting them for it, they're already capping it. Oh, I remember now. Talking about moving around when you're holding something, and especially when they came in to try and force your Uber, you're able to use the other soldiers' rockets and demo stickies to rocket jump. So see there, you just rode the rocket, you know, called surfing. Definitely try and time their rockets, and you can use the surfing to get a huge amount of distance. And, you know, they fire at a very regular interval. See, there, again, you should have backed out before the Uber was over, because once it faded there, you were in front of your soldier. It's good that you guys are staying in, playing off your numbers advantage, and you're buffing your scout and the people in front. That's very good. Again, great scout buffs. Really good heal spread. And see, it definitely pays off because your teammates are able to take 1v1s that would normally be a fair fight, but you make your teammates win them by getting such a good heal spread.
Our control point is being captured.
And again, good job of always holding behind your teammates. It's always very tempting to go forward and see what's going on, all that. You guys have a huge Uber. Okay, I thought you were going to push there. Never mind. Here, yeah, definitely let your teammates go ahead of you, but luckily you guys were able to... You guys were okay. I guess someone may have called it, but there is basically always a trap above that door, so I wouldn't just walk right in. With that Uber at the very end, it seemed like you were just trying to flash as many people as you could. But try, maybe up your sensitivity or just look around more. Because some people were fighting, where some people were just like, you know, off reloading and getting flashed. So you always want to be preventing damage from happening, so stay on the people who are going to take damage, rather than them just being there. Your soldiers have much better health this time around. Your roamer could use a little more, but he had some rollout troubles. No big deal. You need to be healing scouts a lot more at mid, by the way. Like, as soon as the scouts within your heal beam's reach, they take the priority. Unless your demo's about to die, usually. So, great job on that mid there. So, both meds are alive, and you have even numbers here. So, let's see what happens here. Okay, you lose a scout. So, as soon as it's in... Whenever you're holding in a stalemate and one side loses someone, the other side usually sends in a suicide for the medic. So you need to be as careful as possible. Yeah, you know, getting your heal spread around, that's good. Very ballsy there from your teammates trying to clear those traps. Looks like you guys are getting ready to push. So, okay, they lost one. That's good enough for you guys to go. But you can't sit here and keep taking damage. Well, I guess if they're going to keep feeding you players, that's fine. But if you're going to go in, then go in before you take the damage. Because at that point, you know, then your soldier gets down to 100 instead of 200. And then your demo's hurt too. This just seemed like a miscommunication. I don't really understand why you guys split up and then no one was with you and then you ended up getting forced by the demo, I guess. I don't know. Again, I can't really say what happened there. I don't fully understand, but try staying with the pocket soldier as much as you can, especially when you have Uber, because 90% of the time they're the one who's going to take it. And again, there, maybe you thought someone was in that room, but your soldier was on the point and you were way at the top of the ramp. Always try, you tend to not jump. Definitely try and jump a little more as medic, because you can surf enemy damage. I spoke about surfing rockets and pills and stickies and everything, but even bullets will push you in the air. Whatever incoming damage you take has an effect on your physics. So, especially if you're getting focused or taking a lot of spam something, just keep jumping and you'll be able to get out of there with taking less damage and faster. Definitely let your teammates clear the traps before you go through. Maybe they didn't call it or something. But this is great. You guys have Uber advantage. But here, look. See, you send in 3 people there, and they all take a huge amount of damage. If you guys are going in, then you need to go in and take as little damage as possible instead of kind of, you know, okay, we're going to go soon, we're going to go soon. You guys did have full Uber advantage and are able to out-DM them, so that's definitely a big reason why you guys won the round. But try and keep that in mind. Like, it's always, you know, you want to get the most out of your Uber and use it as late as possible. But if it's at the point where your teammates take a combined 400 damage before you use, then, you know, is it really worth waiting? Good health on the soldiers this time. See, you have a scout up there. They are just begging for crit heals right now. The scout buffs on mid are ridiculously important because these guys put out all the spam, but no one will actually die unless your scouts do something. So now, see, you buff that scout and they're able to go flying in. You have really good positioning here. You have teammates on the high ground around you. You have scouts in front of you. Your demo right next to you. You had great coverage, and it was really good to stand on that point. So, yeah, you guys have a massive numbers advantage. Even though you have even Ubers, you should be able to just bully your way in here.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
You know, not saying that you shouldn't have, but you don't really need to be capping the point. If you wanted to stay with that soldier, or even stay between the people so you could heal both, would be good. It kind of seemed like you didn't need to use the Uber there. Maybe you thought that you were going to push into them, but it didn't seem like you or your demo were taking that much damage. But it did give you lobby, though. So, all in all, I guess not that bad. Or maybe it was called for you to pop to save your demo if he was hurt. Okay, they lose a soldier and you lose your demo. Oh, you lose another too. Okay, they're probably going to push in here. So, great job backing up. So yeah, again, if you're jumping during this, then the scout will push you farther away and the pills won't do as much damage to you and they'll help boost you out of there, making you harder to hit, all that. You're still one down and they could be wrapping behind you because it looks like you have a lot of your team here. So yeah, good call, watching behind you and making sure everyone's got everything covered. Okay. It's so hard to tell which soldier's which. Great job milking there. Your team held the high ground really well. But yeah, no one was watching the flank there. That was really good play from you, where you held the Uber and relied on your teammates to use their positional advantage. But It sucked that no one was watching the flank. And you should have been so... Okay. There, your team definitely had an advantage and you definitely should have been moving forward. But the thing is, your whole team should have been moving forward, but there it was just you. Okay, you guys got their medic. That's really good. So you're going to have a slight advantage here. But, like I was saying, you really want to make sure that your teammates are the ones pushing forward and taking the brunt of the damage. So your whole team should have been moving there, definitely, but you shouldn't have been the one leading the charge. Hopefully it was called that you guys have a decent enough advantage. It doesn't even look like they're building either, so you guys are definitely lucking out here. You want to be... I know you're building right now, but you want to make sure your teammates are at least buffed, especially the people who have crit heals before you start building. And, you know, hurt people build just as fast, so... Yeah, this is good. Staying behind the train where you can't take damage, but you can heal your teammates who need it. So, the sticky traps. I know that no one's even watching that. Yeah, you guys are going to lose your advantage here. Okay, so you double scout it. I like it. Flash the soldier in so we can jump. Really good work. As you were flashing the soldier, you probably should have kept moving up so you could get back to your scouts or even the soldier who got in there. Because once you flash the scouts in and the soldier jumped away, you were sort of left with no one to Uber. So you can sort of, you know, there's the team service announcement of body blocking the sentry and everything. You could do that too with yourself, putting yourself in situations while you're invulnerable. And you would have been in a much better position to flash your teammates as well. But it's just like I said before, make sure you're out of there if the Uber's fading and you're not just staying there to win. So, you know, once you saw you started losing 1, 2, 3 people and the Uber was about over, it's time for you to go. And good job buffing your teammates so everyone can help fight that. It sucks that you lost a soldier there, but it's a good thing you were able to get out of there without anyone wrapping around you because no one was watching the flank. They were just positioning. You could see that the soldier went behind the wall, and you also didn't see their combo walk up the slope. So you should know that, not that you should know, but you'd be able to guess that they're somewhere on your right side. So going to the right side to dodge is not a good idea. Somehow you guys turn around these kills, though. They grab some themselves, but it's a good thing you're able to still hold here. So this is actually great positioning because you guys aren't really holding this all that much. So you're definitely out of the way of a bomb and able to back up like this. So that's good. You should have people on high ground more, but that's just a team thing, not so much you. Okay, I guess maybe it was called that they popped, but you really... Those rollers would have brought you down to maybe 80 health, which I think would have been totally fine for you to milk and then get into a better position. You're able to out-DM them, luckily, but the demo used, I think, all of his stickies, or even if he didn't, it wouldn't have been enough to kill you, so I don't think you really had to use there. You should be moving up with that soldier, who I think is your pocket up there, maybe. Your scouts and even demo were capping, but other people can cap the point, but you should have been healing the soldier that was going in there to take position, because by taking position usually you're taking damage too. Again, see here, only one of your... Now none of the people have a buff, so before you start building, go do a round of buffs and then start building. So you guys have a good advantage here. Remember, yeah, I was back at mid, I believe, when you guys killed their medic, so hopefully you know how big of an advantage you have. Again, there's always a trap there on that door, like I said earlier, so don't be afraid at all to use it even before you open the shutter, because your soldier will just jump in right away. So, wow, that really great work out of your soldier and demo there. How the soldier took the high ground and your demo got a bunch of damage on them, but somehow you didn't get the force into them. I think maybe having your scouts come out of lobby would have been helpful to try and force their Uber sooner and put out more damage. I couldn't really see too well where the scouts were, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But Yeah, again, you sort of, when the Uber faded, you were just sitting on the ramp. Alright, rip. Anyway, when the Uber faded, you were just kind of sitting on the ramp, so make sure once the Uber hits 30-20%, you want to immediately get yourself to the best position you can. Welcome back. So both teams seem to be losing people. I can't, you know, you're not really looking where, but you want to be in a position where you can buff your teammates. You were holding kind of far back, so you weren't able to buff the people who were holding flank, and they ended up dying. I mean, that's on them a little more than it's on you, because, you know, they could come back for heals too, but you want to be in a position where you can at least help people if possible. Wow, they're flashing a lot, and you guys had really good positioning there. Your demo... Oh, it's a good thing they didn't chase him, because he would have been in a lot of trouble if they followed him any farther. And this is great. See, your pocket is putting out a huge amount of damage, and your demo is able to clean up on it. I guess, you know, it didn't really work out too well in the end, but you definitely handled that Uber very well. Don't let your teammates get too far behind you too. When you guys are backing out there, it would be pretty bad for a soldier to just walk through the choke and put some damage into you. You guys are kind of bunched up, and you can see that they're trying to push. So try not to build if you don't have to, and keep your teammates as healed as possible. Because see now, you guys are all clumped up in this back stage here. And their whole team was able to push all the way in for completely free. Wow, that was very ballsy milk there. It's very tempting if you see a teammate around you and just a scout rushes up to you. You can guess your teammate's going to win the 1v1. But don't think that for the demo, because it's... I mean, hit or miss is kind of cheesy, but it's so hard to aim the pills and stickies and everything. The demo is basically the worst one to protect you in close quarters. So first of all, you should have been farther forward so they couldn't walk in for free. Then second, you should have been at least spread out so you weren't all taking the same damage. And then third, using the Uber a little sooner would have been good, especially once theirs started fading. Even though you weren't in that much of a threat maybe when it was fading, you could have gone in with your whole team and put a huge amount of damage into them and take the point really easily. You're just kind of lucky your guys were able to out-DM them. So here it looks like you're not really looking around as much as you need to, because you had a couple of people that needed healing that were on the... One guy was on the roof, you just weren't really looking up there. Another guy was behind the house taking a lot of damage, you weren't looking there. A scout came behind you, you weren't looking there. You need to you need to definitely be looking around as much as you possibly can. And a higher sensitivity always really helps that. So you guys are down 2, and you're putting yourself in a situation where you can take a lot of spam. Okay, you guys shouldn't be winning this fight, but I guess good on you for making the best of it and waiting for them to take care of business before putting yourself in danger. So yeah, there, I don't know if it was the scout not waiting for you or something, but always buffing scouts before they... I found the med, alright. Always buffing scouts before they go in is great. 43 seconds left, alright. So this isn't really a good place to hold, especially, you know, you see how close the demo is. It looks like you kind of lagged there, but like I said, that's a really bad place to hold because everyone can just come right behind you. Yeah, that's it looks like that's the end of it here. So we'll just go over some of the big points that I hit on the way. You need to maybe up your sensitivity, but if not, always be looking around a lot more. You'd be able to see more of your teammates, more of where the enemies are and what's going on. It just gives you more information, which is always really important. Next, jump a lot and try and use damage to take less of it and escape. If you're getting shot at, or if a soldier's above you and rocket jumping into you, you can jump off his rocket and go flying away and be impossible to hit. Or if a scout's chasing you, you can jump and surf his damage away so that he can't kill you in 2 shots. That's really... Always try and keep that in mind. It's definitely a force of habit, but it eventually becomes a point where you could not even be looking at a soldier from behind, and by instinct, you're jumping and surfing away his rocket. Next, when an Uber is fading, you want to make sure you're out of there. Also, going into Ubers, make sure you know who's going in and prevent the damage as best you can. Because if you have a lot of people going in, then you can't prevent it. If you milk it for too long, then your teammates are going to just take a bunch of damage anyway. It's like the Uber didn't even help. So always keep that in mind. You want to, with an Uber, you want to prevent damage from happening so you can take position, get kills, things like that. A lot of times your positioning in pushes was great. A lot of your holds, sometimes you gave them a lot more ground than you should have, but other than that, it was pretty good where you were holding. So I hope this helps, and let me know if there's any more I can do for you here. So thanks for watching.